Welcome to our 2026 art camp, and I am very happy to see we have very new artists. So welcome to this fourth art camp. As you may know that we started this art camp some 6 years back, and the participants, you might have heard some of them like Naukuchiyatal, Mr. Bhatnagar, very, very senior artists. You might have even heard of their anecdotes from Suchitra. But what we have been trying is that for 2 years it was a simple art camp. Then we thought, is it possible to somehow improve the art camp? Improve meaning what can be there. So one idea was that we must have a workshop. Not only art camp, but let us also have some discussion. So we started workshop also. And last year we added music, because I thought music and art was very close, and perhaps there was some kind of an influence or relation that one can evolve, develop. So we called it Confluence of Art and Music. This year also we are repeating the same thing. The only thing that I thought that we should do is that whatever discussion we had in the workshop, the theme or the points of discussion subject was, one was the child art and how to teach a child, how to teach art to a child. And this emerged because of one of our Rasaja member who was here, Devika. She showed me that, look, my nephew has painted this. He was 11 or 12 years old, and it looked like as if it was a very matured work of art. So it emerged. I immediately thought that perhaps there was something wrong, and then I asked my friends here, Anando and all the other senior artists, that if Picasso said that it took me all life to draw like a child, how does one teach a child how to paint? Or should you at all teach a child to paint? And we had very interesting discussion on it. And we had some more subjects, like we had folk artists. So I had a feeling that the folk artists were still adhering to their themes which were traditional, like the Potuas were painting their religious images. Tekam Singh Gariba from Gond, he was painting, drawing mostly the animals and the stories. Of course, each one of them had a theme and a strong story, whatever they were painting. So it was not like only painting landscapes. What I learned from Tekam Singh Gariba, when he was drawing beautiful deer after deer after deer, I said, Tekam, ye aap kya bana rahe ho? So he told me that ये जो हिरन है, इनका आशियाना नहीं होता. And it struck me, it is amazing that these people, what we call them uneducated, they have observed the way the animals have to survive in their forest areas. And that is how the anguish of the deer was being reflected by Tekam Singh. So I was wanting to ask my artists making contemporary paintings that what are you painting that has any relation whether to our traditional painting, or so one argument was that we have global influence, we have the various technological development, so that also gets reflected. Anyway, this subject was also discussed. Now this year, we were thinking of what subject one could pick up. it occurred to me that having heard about various kinds of art camps that are being held, one, we can talk about that, and the other we can talk about the whole world is going through tremendous amount of, what shall I say, it's torment, it is stress, it is distress. I was hearing that our important characters like Virat Kohli, his wife, and Shah Rukh Khan, they have said that Dubai is their second home. But right today, they are all in bunkers. Now, this is something that is unthinkable. It was unthinkable last year. So we are going through a lot of changes, a lot of distress, a lot of anguish. So can art help us? Can art help us, meaning not only the professional artists, but can they help the common man who may be sensitive to art, who may not be an artist, but he may be, I believe every person has an art inside, an artist inside. Just an opportunity should be given for that art to blossom. Anyway, so I thought that this could be a subject. So what I would like to start with is, let us go back to the very basic. Why an art camp? Let us start with that. Why an art camp? So today we will begin our discussion with art camp. In the meantime, I think it would be appropriate that we have new members who have come for this art camp. So can we introduce ourselves so that it becomes part of this record? And the whole idea of this workshop is also that if this can be transcribed, and if Rasaja can publish a small handbook as to if anybody wants to do an art camp, this can be a very handy document which they can refer to as to what are the various grammar, structure, logistic of art camp. Well, this may be a very ambitious thing, but however, it should be attempted, I think. So may I ask maybe Jatinda to introduce himself? Of course, he needs no introduction, but still, Jatinda, you are the first one here. So we can just keep a record as to how many we are participants for this 2026 art camp.
Well, I have to introduce myself probably. I'm Jiten Hazarika, and this is the fourth camp, and I have attended all the camps. And I feel so happy. This place is so beautiful. And artists really feel like working here, particularly on creative works. Well, gentlemen, so this is my small introduction. I hope you all will introduce. I don't have to introduce myself because I probably am known, but few new artists are there. They should also know me. We will like to know them. Thank you very much, gentlemen. So I think now you introduce. You are a new artist now.
Okay. So my name is Ranjan Kaul. I'm a Delhi-based, I call myself a contemporary artist. I do mainly figurative work, and most of my works are storytelling around what is happening around the environment. So I don't know if that answers what an artist can be doing. If you want to know a little more, if you give me 2 minutes more, I'll tell you how I became an artist. Or should I pass it on? So mine is a long. So I also write on art. I've also been writing on art for the last nearly 5 years. I run a art blog called artamore.in, which is like a free site. It is to encourage and support and create awareness and understanding of art. I started this along with another artist friend and curator, because that was during COVID times. But that was also because professionally I worked as an editor, primarily I was in publishing, book publishing. And so I used to paint over weekends and in the evenings. But professionally, I worked till 2015 when I left publishing to pursue art full time. And my last assignment was with Oxford University Press, and they had made me the managing director. And instead of doing editorial work, I was having to chase sales and look at the finances, and that's when I called it a day. So, but academically, I was trained as an engineer. I went to IIT Kanpur. I went to IIT Bombay to do design, but I didn't pursue a course in design. I subsequently did a master's in literature from the University of Delhi. So I also wrote a novel. I've also written short stories. That's why much of my art is about storytelling. I think that gives you an adequate background about myself. Thank you. Thank you so much.
My name is Shikha Sinha, and I am an abstract artist. I live in Delhi.
Hello, this is Durga Kanthola. I'm based in Delhi, and this is the first time when I'm attending this art camp. And my works is actually each human being has two parts of themselves. One is the conscious and one is the subconscious. So my art also deals with the conscious, which is more of popular art and all reference from histories. And then I have this subconscious subject, which is all about the social issues, and especially about rape and molestation, it's the age-old thing. It's not something new, but it is an issue which has not been solved neither earlier nor the politicians. Nobody's interested. So since 15 years, I'm doing social issues, my installation and my sculptures, and they are called the Tales of Battered Soul and Wounded Womb. So conscious becomes whatever I travel around here or abroad. So those becomes a very conscious one, and the subconscious become which really, I feel hurt when I read about. So that is how I've been working since last maybe 3 decades now. And I did my graduation from DJ School of Art and post-graduation from MS University. Thank you.
Hi. This is Anandmoy Banerjee. I'm an artist from Delhi NCR. I did my bachelor's in painting from Delhi College of Art and master's in printmaking from Shantiniketan Kalabhavan. Then did my autographic research in printmaking from Campbell College of Art, UCL London. It's been a long journey. I have been working as an artist, but also have been teaching, which has been a very interesting kind of platter to me to learn, actually. One of my great teacher, K.G. Subramanian, used to say, the best job of a teacher should be not to say, this is the way, but to simply acknowledge and nurture the talent of the student, what he or she possesses already. This is what I have been actually accepting from the days I passed out until today. I learn from my students also the way I try to transmit my knowledge to them. I was a quintessential landscape artist till 1984. I say it very strongly only because the assassination of Mrs. Gandhi actually took me or gave me the right route, that is human form or human landscape. I went to Lalit Kala Artist Studios during those days from Shantiniketan when I visited Delhi, and there was a guy who used to be the gatekeeper of Lalit Kala Artist Studios, Gulab Singh. I could not recognize him. It was only when he called me through the voice I could recognize him, and then I realized I couldn't recognize him only because he was a clean-shaved man that day. And I don't have to give the story, we all understand why. So the whole thing gave me a, not jolt, but a better platter of thinking, probably by now I realize. I do not really want to stress on this word that I am a social commentator, but I call myself a socially aware artist. I do not, instead of commenting, I rather try to work out a solution and make it a more democratized platter for all. I hope you all will enjoy our participations. Thank you.
Hello, dear friends. My name is Kalicharan Gupta. I'm a Delhi-based artist, and most probably with the all education is from Delhi. First was in Jamia Millia Islamia, then College of Art. And after that, I did the post-graduation. I did the BFA from College of Arts when there was no any MFA. MFA will be just later added. So I did the post-graduation from Kanpur. And after that, I joined in Garhi and worked over there about 33 years. And I had been the director of that Garhi from 94 to 97. And after that, I just shifted from Delhi to NCR, Kala Dham. Did you heard it maybe? The Kala Dham is most of the studios was given to who got the national award or maybe the state awards. So this is just my story, nothing else. Thank you.
Hello, friends. My name is Sushanto Guho. I'm Delhi-based artist, and since I passed out from graduation and post-graduation, both from Shantiniketan, that was 75 to 82, and soon after I came to Delhi with a scholarship, Government of India scholarship, and I joined Garhi Studio working there. And basically, my ambition was to continue the print making, this medium, because I learned from very eminent artists of India, Mr. Shanatkar, Shomnath, they are the very known people that time, and I worked under them, and I decided to continue this. And that time only Garhi Studio was the only place where one can pursue the print making. And there was no other studios in other centers in around India, all over India. So that was my journey, and then eventually I joined teaching in schools, different schools like DPS, NC Jindal, and then finally I joined Birla Vidya Niketan, where I worked nearly 33 years till my retirement. And during this whole period, I got several opportunities, like I got a Fulbright, I got a Charles Wallace Trust Award, and I pursue my advanced printmaking studies, researches at Camberwell College. That was 98. And then 2003, again I got another fellowship called Fulbright Fellowship. And then I went to New York and I did my research there at Manhattan Graphic Center. So this printmaking was very much close to me. And then sometime I used to do painting, drawing, other thing, but printmaking was my primary medium. And I'm happy that I got a lot of opportunity to go abroad and work under so many masters, and I learned so many things. But all along, my idea was to share whatever I learn, I have to share with people, mainly with the students, and then later on college students. So, which I'm still doing. Whenever I'm getting a chance or whenever I'm getting opportunities to some other colleges, they are inviting me like Jamia or College of Art. I'm going and I'm sharing my knowledge, whatever I learn from my teachers. That's all. Thank you. नमस्कार दोस्तों, मेरा नाम संतोष वर्मा है। मैं दिल्ली एनसीआर में रहता हूँ बहुत लंबे समय से। करीब 35-40 साल हो गए यहाँ रहते हुए और पेंट करते हुए। लेकिन मैं बनारस का रहने वाला हूँ और बनारस हिंदू यूनिवर्सिटी से मैंने मास्टर किया है और वहाँ मुझे बहुत अच्छे टीचर मिले हैं। मैं नाम मेंशन करना चाहूँगा, के कुलकर्णी, बलबीर सिंह कट, दीपक बनर्जी जी। तो मेरा सौभाग्य रहा कि बहुत अच्छे टीचरों ने हमें मुझे पढ़ाया है। और उस मास्टर करने के बाद मैं दिल्ली आ गया और फिर दिल्ली का ही होके रह गया। लेकिन मेरी जो स्कूलिंग है वो काफ़ी इंटीरियर में बहुत ही टूटे फूटे तरीके से हुई है। और इस वजह से जो मेरी यादें हैं वो मैंने गांव से बहुत ज़्यादा जुड़ी हैं, क्योंकि एक समय करीब 13-14 साल का उम्र मेरा वही गांव के अंदर, और वो भी काफ़ी गांव के इंटीरियर में। जैसे बहुत सारे बच्चे पढ़े होंगे, आज भी पढ़ते हैं, पेड़ के नीचे जैसे। और बड़ा बहुत ही डिस्टर्ब तरीके से हुई है। पढ़ा नहीं पढ़ा, कभी चले गए तो कभी नहीं गए, इस तरह का होता था। उस समय उतना माहौल नहीं था हम लोग के समय में हमारे आसपास। लेकिन फिर बनारस आया तो फिर धीरे धीरे हम फिर बनारस हिंदू यूनिवर्सिटी पहुँचे और वहाँ से हमने मास्टर करके निकला। तो वो जो बचपन की जो यादें हैं मेरे सब कॉन्शियस माइंड में, वो हमेशा ताज़ा रहता है। तो मेरे चित्रों में भी वो दिखता है। और जब भी मैं पेंट करता हूँ तो मैं वहाँ करीब करीब पहुँच जाता हूँ, तो वो मुझे बहुत सुकून और आनंद देता है। तो जिसकी वजह से मैं बार बार तरह तरह तरीके से वो यादों को मैं ताज़ा करता रहता हूँ। और दिल्ली में भी यहाँ जो बैठे हैं मेरे दोस्त, करीब पाँच दोस्त ऐसे हैं, 5 तो नए आए हैं, लेकिन उसमें से भी कई लोग जानते हैं। और जो बाकी 5 हैं, हम लोगों ने बहुत लंबे समय से हम लोग का एसोसिएशन रहा है। तो धन्यवाद।
नमस्कार सर और मैम, सबको नमस्कार। मेरा नाम फाशिकंती कुमारस्वामी है और मुझे वहाँ पे कुमार बुलाते हैं और यहाँ पे घड़ी में सारे सीनियर आर्टिस्ट मुझे स्वामी बुलाते हैं। और मैं तेलंगाना का एक छोटा सा गांव चिन्नूर करके है, मैं वहाँ से हूँ। और मैं बैचलर करने के लिए मैं हैदराबाद चले गया। पुट्टी श्री रामुलु तेलुगु यूनिवर्सिटी से मेरा बैचलर हुआ है प्रिंट मेकिंग में। फिर वो हो गए के बाद मैं 2011 में दिल्ली आया, जामिया मिलिया इस्लामिया यूनिवर्सिटी में मैं प्रिंट मेकिंग में मास्टर किया है। फिर उसके बाद ही 2013 में मुझे गाड़ी में एडमिशन मिला है और मैं गाड़ी में प्रिंट मेकिंग अभी तक प्रैक्टिस कर रहा हूँ सारे लोगों के साथ। और रसाजा फाउंडेशन में मेरा ये फर्स्ट कैंप है और इतने सारे सीनियर आर्टिस्टों के साथ काम करने के लिए मुझे मौका देने के लिए मैं थैंक यू बहुत।
Hello, my name is Dr. Rajarshi Chakrabarti, and it's a privilege to be here with all of you. I'm very happy. This is my first association with Rasaja, and I feel that it's a new ambience, a lot of education through drawing and painting in an environment which is which emphasizes, to be free from all sorts of stress, and of course a long deep happiness with all the esteemed group of artists and printmakers and people who have been in this field for years, with their expertise, and the expertise is of no bounds. I don't have to say. anyways, I graduated as a BFA student, painting department in the year 1992. I went to Shantiniketan for my master's MFA. And after I came back from master's, I gave some examinations to teach in universities. I always wanted to go in a classroom full of students. I wanted to say things. I want to say them stories. I want to share experiences of things which I had learned and I saw within all that lifetime, of that era and age, And after that, I got enrolled for research and PhD, and I was the first research scholar of College of Art. I enrolled in 1999. Uske pehle, few people had enrolled, but they could not complete their research and PhD. So my supervisor was Professor Vijay Mohan, who was the principal, and also my former HOD of Department of Painting. And I was happy to go back after my BFA because I had intermittent spells of coming to COA, College of Art, because I was doing my master's from Shantiniketan. Eventually, I gave some British Council scholarship interviews and I got through it, and I also got an international merit scholarship from UK. Finally, I was on the way to do my second post-graduation from Coventry University. And of course, research-based artwork and travel, of course, going to the exhibitions. But my supervisor made it very clear to me that I was not, I would be thrown out of the PhD because I was leaving it incomplete. But I said that, sir, I would really come back and I would complete my work and I would end it up. But this is one opportunity that has come to me. And I really want to go. In the previous interviews, Professor Vijay Mohan used to be always there. And when he was there, he was not letting me clear out the interviews, which was very true. So finally, I got through it. And I went to UK for 2-3 years. I was traveling, exhibiting my work there. And then I visited many museums, did a lot of work there, actually. Freelance work was also, was actually on the underway. And after that, I came back India, I completed my PhD. I joined some schools, some private institutions like APJ University, and of course, I was working in Amity also. Amity Art Department was on its way to bloom, which was very new that time. So with very less infrastructure, it was only rooms, and I was the only teacher who was in BFA, as well as there was only one student for MFA. So finally, I grabbed the opportunity. I worked there for few months. I couldn't do it, and I joined a school. Then I came back to APJ, and then finally, I came to College of Art as an associate professor. I was very happy, extremely happy to be back in my college. And every room, every nook and corner, and there are many former students here in this place, so I don't have to explain much. They are much more emotionally connected with that place, with everything, So there were professors who were retired, on the verge of retiring from this grand College of Art, and we missed them. And of course, it was wonderful experiential learning and teaching, because I was always a student at many universities, but then I was imparting education. I was coming in College of Art. I was teaching history of art, and I remember my first class was absolutely horrible, just as horrible, because I couldn't utter a word, because I was very scared of speaking, because of course you might have experienced that I have a little impediment of speech, but that has been with me for years now, but I enjoy doing it. So now, after so many years of teaching, 18 years of teaching, wonderful, I really love to teach. So now I am teaching aesthetics to the students of 4th year, and very, very hard subject, because I used to always hate aesthetics all throughout my lifetime in College of Art. I was more of a history guy, museum guy. I love museums. I love traveling. I am a too much into antiquity. I am too much into collecting things, of course, which I can afford, which is small in size, which is my forte, and which I actually look for. Then I read, I collect also works of art and small little things. My house is a little museum now. And so I'm very happy to be with all of you. I have taken a lot of time, and thank you so much. Thank you.
Well, we had a very nice introduction. I think we can come to the main subject today. We have talked enough, but it's important that we know each other. That's good, this gives an opportunity. Yeah. So I think let us ask, why an art camp? And art camp, and with respect to a very enchanting environment, with reference to, I would like to know from you, and we have heard a lot of interesting experience. You are all very matured artists. The reason for this question is our revisiting this effort of an art camp, and if there is a mid-course correction that we might have to do. Why should we have an art camp? If there is anybody who would like to start with. Very good.
इसमें बोलने में मुझे थोड़ी प्रॉब्लम ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है ठीक नो थैंक यू देखिए आर्टिस्ट अपने स्टूडियो में तो काम करता ही है वो लेकिन आर्ट कैंप एक आर्टिस्ट के लिए बहुत ज़रूरी है वो क्यों ज़रूरी है क्योंकि जब वो अपने जो दायरे हैं उससे बाहर निकलते हैं कोई नई जगह पे जाते हैं वो देखते हैं वहाँ का पर्यावरण देखते हैं वहाँ का माहौल देखते हैं लोगों से मिलते हैं तो उनके कामों में चेंजेस आते हैं वो जिस जगह पे जाएंगे उसका जो फ्लेवर है उसका जो सेंटिमेंट जुड़ता है उसका जो सोल है वो सोल अगर वो पेंटिंग में आते तो आप सक्सेस है आर्ट कैंप में आने के लिए अगर वो सोल आप अचीव नहीं कर पाते आप वही काम कर रहे हैं जो कि आप स्टूडियो में कर रहे हैं तो फिर आर्ट कैंप बेकार है आपके लिए तो आर्ट कैंप एक आर्टिस्ट को एक नई दिशा एक नया सोच एक नया फ्लेवर ये देता है बाकी बातें तो सारे लोग जानते ही हैं यहाँ तो सारे प्रबुद्ध लोग बैठे हुए हैं सब कुछ जानते हैं पर मैं देख रही हूँ कुछ छोटे बच्चे भी हैं हाँ और आपने एक चाइल्ड का भी वो बताया था कि कैसे मैं थोड़ा उस पर भी बोलना चाहूँगी हाँ जैसे छोटे बच्चे हैं 1 to 5 क्लास एज एन आर्टिस्ट मुझे लगता है कि इन बच्चों को कभी नहीं ये बोलना चाहिए कि ये मत करो ये करो कभी नहीं वो जो कर रहे हैं उसको आप एप्रिसिएट कीजिए वो उनका जो थिंकिंग है ना वो हमसे कई गुना ज़्यादा फास्ट भागता है उनका जो इमेजिनेशन पावर है वो एक डिफरेंट वे में जाता है क्योंकि वो अभी अनटच्ड है उसको अभी कोई भी पॉलिश कोई भी चीज़ टच नहीं किया है जो एक जब आप आगे हो जाते बड़े हो जाते हैं तो बहुत सारी चीज़ें इन्फ्लुएंस करते हैं अभी वो प्योर सोल है वो जो कर रहा है वो जो आसमान है उस नीला ना बना के वो उसको रेड बनाएगा या ग्रीन बनाएगा आप उसको ये मत सिखाया अरे तुमने ये क्यों कर दिया ये स्काई तो ब्लू होता है आपने ग्रीन क्यों कर दिया नहीं स्काई ग्रीन भी हो सकता है नहीं वाटर रेड भी हो सकता है ये आर्टिस्ट का पहला स्टेप है और हम टीचर क्या करते हैं आई एम नॉट ए टीचर मैं तो एक बात कह रही हूँ जो अभी इंडियन सोसाइटी में जो हैं वो क्या करते हैं वो स्टॉप कर देते हैं वहीं पे उनका लर्निंग रुक जाता है वो ऑब्स्टिकल डाल देते हैं कि बेटा ये क्या कर दिया वाटर रेड कब से होने लगा वाटर ब्लू होता आप ब्लू करो पेड़ कब से येलो होने लगा पेड़ कुछ इस तरह का ऑब्स्टिकल कभी नहीं डालना चाहिए बच्चों को जहाँ तक मुझे लगता है 5th के बाद 6th क्लास में जब आते हैं यानी 12-13 साल के जो भी हो जाते हैं उसके बाद आप थोड़ा उसको जो सांसारिक ज्ञान है वो थोड़ा थोड़ा दीजिए, लेकिन बहुत ज़्यादा देने की ज़रूरत नहीं कि उनका इनर सेंस जो है वो बहुत डेवलप होता है, वो खुद ही उस चीज़ों को पकड़ेंगे। अब हम आते हैं एज एन आर्टिस्ट कि हम जो चीज़ों को बनाते हैं, यहाँ पे बहुत सारे अलग अलग मीडियम के आर्टिस्ट बैठे हुए हैं। कोई एब्स्ट्रैक्ट आर्टिस्ट हैं, कोई फिगरेटिव हैं, कोई कंसेप्चुअल हैं, हर तरह के आर्टिस्ट हैं। तो एब्स्ट्रैक्शन में जो है ना बहुत कंफ्यूजन है लोगों को लगता है कि कलर फेंक दिया, कलर से कुछ डाल दिया, एब्स्ट्रैक्ट हो गया। एब्स्ट्रैक्ट मतलब फिगर नहीं होना चाहिए। एब्स्ट्रैक्ट है क्या? हम क्यों बोल रहे हैं कि ये एब्स्ट्रैक्ट है, ये अमूर्त कला है? आया कहाँ से? मैं कहती हूँ ये पूरा संसार ही एब्स्ट्रैक्ट है। फिगर तो है ही नहीं, मुझे फिगर नहीं दिखता। आप कह सकते हैं क्यों नहीं दिखता? तुम तो साक्षात फिगर में हो। ये हमारा जो विज़न है ना वो लिमिटेड है, देखने का लिमिटेड विज़न, इस वजह से हमें फिगर दिख रहा है। अब आप मेरा ये शेप है, ओवल शेप है, ये सिलेंड्रिकल शेप, अब सिंप्लीफाई करते जाइए। एक ज्योमेट्रिकल शेप में आ गई, अब उसके पीछे जाइए। मैं क्या थी? मैं कुछ भी नहीं थी, एक लिक्विड मात्र थी। अब वो लिक्विड जिस में गया, कोई पक्षी बन गया, कोई आदमी बन गया, कोई कुछ बन गया, अब वहाँ शेप आया। तो आप विजन जितना बड़ा करेंगे तो उतना है। जैसे कोई फिगरेटिव आर्टिस्ट है, उसने मान लिया एक ग्लास बना दिया, ठीक है, हमने जो देखा वो बना दिया। दूसरे आर्टिस्ट क्या करेंगे? ग्लास को ऐसे मारेंगे, जो टन की आवाज हुई, अब वो उस चीज को पेंट करेंगे, ग्लास को नहीं पेंट करेंगे। वो जो सोल है, वो जो एसेंस है, उसको पेंट करना, वो आर्ट। उसी तरह बच्चे जो है ना, वो टन की जो आवाज होती है उसको पेंट करते हैं। इसलिए पिकासो कहते हैं कि बच्चे जैसा काम करना बड़ा कठिन है। ठीक है, थैंक यू।
आई थिंक आज जो आपने कहा सचमुच का, इसमें आपने जो कहा अंदर की बात करी, बिल्कुल ठीक करी। तो मैं आपका पहले ही बात कर लूँ, जो आपने कहा कि आर्ट कैंप क्यों बहुत ज़रूरी है। ये आर्टिस्ट के अपने ग्रोथ के लिए भी ज़रूरी है। आई होप स्वामी यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड। नो, ओके, कोई बात नहीं। Essentially what you said was that the art camp's function is not only for the viewer, it is also for the growth of the artist. And the environment is equally important, because the artist has come out of his own periphery, and that change itself, apart from meeting other artists, will have a lot of effect on this. I would like to ask the other members, how do you react to this, whatever Shika said? Anything you would like to say, Dada? Sakshi, na ki naam bolna bhai? I mean, na. Shika. हाँ. ना सबाई बोलबे, तुम किसी बोलते जब art camp, why should we have it? You are the only artist who has come for the third time, fourth time. So you are the best person to say, why should there be an art camp? Why at all? And that too, does it have to be a nice environment? Is it important?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, not that this is the fourth time I'm joining the camp. I have, probably participated in many other camps. The spirit is same actually, whether this camp or other camp. But this camp, particularly, 4 times I had come, and then I probably introduced myself as a member of this group only, looks like that only. I become part of it. So that kind of a belonging, I started establishing with this particular Rasaja Foundation. So it is got a different kind of a level of attending this camp. But anyhow, camp actually, required it. Why? Artists, first thing, they, work along with some other artists, probably there will be, any number of artists, maybe 8, 9, 10, 5, 6, whatever it is actually, they work with artists. That is one point. And generally they go to a good place actually, it's a scenic beauty and a new place, something environmentally, it's, very conducive for creative work. Another thing actually, when you work actually along with the artist, a very invisible kind of a competition also starts at you. I don't know whether you feel or not, I feel it. That when some visitors come to see, if they say that your work is good, you feel good. You don't compete really, that I'm competing with other friends of mine, who are participants of the camp. But indirectly, there is a feeling actually that my work should be good. So with that kind of spirit you work. Not that, I'll just do like this, camp mein kya hai, 4 din kam karna hai, and people will pay me some money, and I'll get the money and come back, and I think give them 2 canvases, anything. But they do not work like that. Nobody does that, probably. Everybody does with some kind of very invisible competitive spirit, that my work should be good, or at least it should be comparable to other artists who are working in the camp. I do not know what you feel, but I feel that way. When I work, actually, I probably, at times I work, quite few hours, strenuous work, strenuously I work, to see that my work comes up at least, at par with the other artists. Again, when you work in your own studio, there is a place actually all the time actually you have been working, same atmosphere, same thing actually, probably same palette also. And in that palette actually previous work, some paint is left over, so you will use that. So in a way actually, some your pattern of colors, paints, and thinking, it doesn't vary much actually.
Basi khana kha. Basi khana kha.
Something like that only. Yeah.
Overnight.
Yeah. But in a camp actually, everything new. First thing actually, you get a new paint, new tubes, new brush, everything new. Yeah, everything new, and new environment, new friends, and then every surrounding is also new. Surrounding is also new, and that way actually, there are some changes. In religious terms actually, probably, there are those who are devotees, they do kirtan. Kirtan is something like this, everybody does a little bit of thing actually in their own house, in their own prayer place. But to do along with other people, which is called Sankirtan, along with other people, they, they synchronize their claps and all. So that has got a different kind of a beauty, and then, it rejuvenates you probably, or probably it enthuses actually some kind of more spiritual feeling in you. So kirtan should be Sankirtan, that's what I want to say. So that kind of thing actually you get, in a camp only. In the own studio, same way actually in your source, same small prayer place you are going and putting the agarbatti, and then pray God and come back, that's all. Same thing happens with the art also. You come out, say today only, I just went and saw some artists working. They had been, somebody had been putting actually some salt in the acrylic paint. And the overall effect was fantastic. And then another artist I saw put a thicker line with acrylic, and along with that, little bit of water they put it in. And then that water actually, the part of the thick line had been actually dissolved, which probably with a brush just like that we could not have done. And those are the learnings actually, you see everybody is doing, different kind of work, different, way of working. And another thing actually, see, when you come to a camp, you have to be very, very, you can say spontaneous. You don't have time. In your own camp, actually, own studio, you get a lot of time. You keep doing, postpone it actually, probably, postpone it, and sometimes actually you lose the track. And then again you go back, and sometimes, for references, you bring something, okay, this is like this. And probably you tell your daughter or somebody actually hold your hand like this, I'll see and paint it. You do all this, but in camp you don't have that kind of a thing, you know. You have to do it. And you have to compose, you know, I mean, you have to paint, render paints and then complete the work in a very short time. Here, actual talent or actual artistic probably trend of an artist can be seen or rather viewed properly. In the studio, many times we get something is missing, so we get some references from many places. We go and really see things and then take drawings, see this way, that way. I have got a habit, sometimes I paint. Some places I get confused, actually, kya paint lagana hai. So then I take a transparent plastic. That area, I just dip, I paste it. On the transparent, I paint it. Sorry, I paint on that transparent, plastic piece. Because plastic piece takes my oil paint. Acrylic, whether it will take or not, I don't know. But I put oil paint on that plastic piece and then see. It looks good. So it's not looking good. I rub that, from the plastic. Again, another paint I put it. All sorts of experiment that way I do in my house. Here I don't have time to do that. So, I mean, both the places you get different works and you work with different spirit, different, facilities. So, but camp is good actually, really. The artist's real talent can be seen in camp only. Thank you very much.
I have one question, please. Dada, you have been attending all the 4 camps. Now the first camp and now the 4th camp. Is there any difference in the way of working, in the way the artists are presenting their works, and what we, general public, are going to learn from it or understand it? Because we do not know all these languages. We are just observers.
Well, of course, as Sumit has said, that they are trying to improve every time. And in that, actually, the workshop has been included. And they have been, last camp was for 10 days. And those 10 days, in fact, we enjoyed so much. They call, some experts from the different fields. You see, not that painting alone. I mean, music and some other, you can say, dramatics. Because one lady was, almost like a drama, though singing, but almost like a drama she was acting, It was wonderful. I mean, that kind of thing had been introduced. So camps, the standard of camp has already gone up quite a lot. But one thing I have seen, first 2 camps we did work here only. They never gave the canvas to us, or they never told us to collect the canvas from Subida or somewhere. You just do it here. That's all we did it also. But somehow, last camp, they said, if you want it, you can collect the canvases and do your initial job. But main thing, you have to do it here. But some initial job you can do it there, so that you can cut down time and you can participate more actively in the workshop. So that kind of facility was given last year. And this time also they have told the same thing. Because for me, Sumit has said that, this time I was physically not very well. He said, earlier, for 3-4 days, actually, standing all the time, keep on working. Even I used to work up to 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Not me alone, but quite a few artists I have seen, they had been doing that. So he probably considered, particularly in my case, that I may not be able to do that kind of strenuous work. And he gave me that facilities that you can collect it and do a little bit of work there and come back. But one thing I can tell you, when you allow the artist to do a little bit of initial work at home, probably organizers, they get a better work.
Yes, but we do
They get a better work. I do not know whether it will kill the spirit of the camp.
not get the facility of seeing an artist's work, developing his work. He has already developed it at home.
Yeah.
He's just giving finishing touches here. So what will general public see?
But what you want, now you have to make up your mind what you want. Why you want a good work, or you want to educate yourself actually do it?
We are also attending the camp.
I know.
So we want to do
No.
also learn something.
There's something
Artists
how.
already know. They know what they are doing. But we do not know how to proceed. We would love to watch them proceed and finish their work. नहीं, आप अगर शुरू से करो, you may not do a very elaborate work.
No, elaborate work, but may not be as good as actually you want.
I think what she's saying is that if we see the product of the first art camp, which has been exhibited and also catalogued, we see the quality was
No less.
brilliant. And each was, as you said, the canvas was given here. So, anyway, in fact, your first canvas is what Mr. Verma fell in love with. That, he said, please call him again. Anyway, so I don't think that if you get time, you get a better product. Maybe I don't know whether it's like, it may be a very bad example of test match in a T20. This becomes a T20. We want a test match. I think, first of all, the time period should be given as much as you require. If you need 7 days, there is 7 days. The first one, I think we had 9 days or something like that.
Yeah.
And we never had anything less than 8 days, right?
7
Anyway,
days minimum.
Anyway, so I would like other responses also. As to why should we have an art camp?
Yeah, so no, I'll come to what you are saying later, and I think that is mostly for you to decide. 4 days would have been for a four-day thing. It was necessary that we did, but I think most of us, I mean, just to correct your thing, most of us just done a very basic thing. A lot of it will actually change and is getting transformed. Like Kumar, he just did the outlining, and most of the effects which he's creating using water and salt also. So, in fact, Kumar is the youngest in our group. So in fact, that leads me on to why the camp. Now, I had not seen his process. His process, he's the youngest person, but his process I have not seen it anywhere else. So certainly, I've also been observing. I hope I get more time to go and stand, if the others will allow me, to stand and watch how they are working. Every artist has got their own.
Why should you say allow?
No, not allow. Well, some people don't like somebody standing on your shoulder. Yeah. Anyway, right now I'm hoping that I finish my work first before I have the luxury of going around. So what I'm saying is, for me, the shared experience and learning, for me, learning is a very, very important part of this. The discussion we are having today, this kind of discussion I have not. See, there was a time when artists used to sit and talk and discuss each other's works. They would advise. Now what has happened, for whatever reason, and we know of the progressive art group and the Shantiniketan artists are sitting down, they're discussing things, and new ideas emerge. That is not happening today in the Indian art scene. I don't know, Anand may correct me, but it's not. No, he's thinking. So that's not happening. So I think this should be a very important part of the art camp. What I said is, artists are no longer sitting together and discussing their artworks. Even in exhibitions, like whenever I've had solo exhibitions, I invite artists to just comment on it. They will not say, so करते रहो, अच्छा है, करते रहो. अरे क्या करूं भाई? कुछ तो बोलो. So I've been writing on art, and now I take the liberty. If I don't like something, I say I didn't like it. So I provoke, So at least people should react. So the final. Just one last suggestion. Since you talked about what else one could add, I was thinking, and all my solo shows, I've always had a day of poetry. Why I'm suggesting poetry? Because the way I look at it, poets also have a very visual way of and a visual imagery. So I think which gets articulated, of course, in words, but the imagery remains very similar. So that is something I was just going to suggest.
Brilliant idea. I think the whole discussion has heated up. We needed 10 minutes break.
Okay, hello. Khalida said to me that तू पहले बात कर ले. Now, seriously speaking, if we really take any topic very seriously, then there has to be certain factors which are not physical, but certainly spiritual. Till now, what we are talking or sharing, it's very interesting. Jitendra had been on a very detail, but then we all can contemplate and not counter, but then debate and create the whole environment very interesting further. I thought to begin with the same content and the same perspective with Shikha, but then I will keep that aside and take Bodhi on first. It is true that this is also my third camp, and before that, before this particular camp, I had been here for 8 days also and 7 days also. But this time when me and Dada, we were talking, we thought that we need to cuddle the thing a bit. I was responsible to peep that to Dada's mind, but then I had a reason which I thought it's my duty to spiritually transform the same. I have a body, I please my body, but still I am not satisfied. We all know that. I find my mind after my body, but then one day I realize even mind cannot give me the ultimate peace. At a given point of time, suddenly I feel that I am satisfied. And we don't question that certain fact of time, like we don't question Shivalinga, whether it is a pure form or an abstract form. Probably to me, there is nothing called abstract at all, which the discussion can continue later on. As the factors go, all Panchatattvas, we cannot touch even the wind, but we know that our body also has wind. In the same context, we will come back to Shikha and take up this discussion very seriously, which can be good for all of us. But I said, Bodhi, why did I say 4 days, 5 days camp? I had a very different feeling altogether. Life की सारी experience बहुत तरीके का होता है. मैं एक ही तरीके का मटन करी रोज नहीं खाना पसंद करता हूँ. This time when I thought, last 2 camps when I analyzed, I tried to, recapitulate and see, I thought, this discussion, why an art camp? But I thought the first question could have been, what is an art camp? And then why an art camp? I will also touch that point. But when I said for 4 days working, 1 and 2 days traveling, I thought, बहुत interesting मेरी एक feeling थी, which I am today sharing to all of you. एक दिन है बारिश जम के आ जाती है और महीना रहती है. We enjoy that also. और एक दिन आती है बारिश के लिए हम इंतजार कर रहे हैं, मिट्टी की सौंधी सी स्मेल हमें कह देती है बारिश हो रही है, पर हमारे पास अभी तक पहुंची नहीं है. I thought the culmination of the work, continuation of my work, your work, his work and our work, which begins in my studio and then comes here, it is like that Sondi feeling of the barish, which is brought here to all of you. It certainly gives a better result as an artist, जैसे जितेंद्र ने भी कहा. It certainly gives, I feel, but I cannot be right. You feel the other way, also you cannot be right. None of us are never right or never wrong. So the discussion goes. But I practically thought this balance of the travel from there to here and then here to there. Now, combining the whole episode of my kind of thinking and proceeding, I will add something to you, Bodhi, now. I take you very seriously. Next time, मैं आऊँ ना आऊँ, working period 7 days का रखिएगा. Minimum, but 3 दिन उसमें ट्रैवल रखिएगा। एक मिनट, ना, 1 सेकेंड, दादा 1 सेकेंड। नहीं हो सकता अभी मत बोलिए, वी आर डिस्कसिंग। ना, वी आर डिस्कसिंग। Let that be 2 days, whatever. What I mean, नहीं, वो if you draw that line, then that line is drawn by the Rasaja Foundation. Whoever can give that time will join, is a different story. But my point is, when we are talking of seeing the environment, judging the area, getting the essence of it, an additional agenda from the Rasaja could be a bit of traveling in and around, all of us together, singing together, laughing together, can also be something very good. This is what I thought. Yeah, while बस में जाते जाते गाना गा रहे हो, बात डिस्कशन कर रहे हो, सब कुछ कर रहे हो। I can always sing a song, as you know, but then Dada will also sing on that day. Usme kya hai? So this is what I thought, number 1. Number two, Dada, when he started the topic art camp, we can continue with this, but then yesterday what we started with role of art, artist and society should also be clubbed in slowly. And Shikha ka topic jo hai, that is also very interesting. We should come up to this, that is there anything called pure abstract? Because in some contexts, this is called a bindi. Americans call this is a dot. And someone said dot bastard. And what is then finally what is abstraction? We'll come on to that.
Okay. So thank you very much. ये जो आपका जो क्वेश्चन जो था, मेरे को अब तक याद है ये कि मेरे ये कोई पहला कैंप नहीं है। नेशनल और इंटरनेशनल कैंप भी मैंने ज्वाइन किए हुए हैं, और कुछ हमारे कुछ आर्टिस्ट भाई बंगाल के, तो देयर वाज ए वन कैंप, आई थिंक इट वाज जस्ट इन जमशेदपुर, टाटास के साथ. And some of these my very senior artist friends, they just sit in the studio, not studio, the place was given just to, the room was given to them. They didn't come out. They only come out for the tea, coffee, and the lunch and dinners. And they worked over there. This is the question of you, that Bodhiji, after this question. Either they do themselves and they collected the most of the works, most of these the stationery with them. Although उनको 2 काम सबमिट करने थे, उन्होंने 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 काम किए, और उनको लास्ट में बोल दिया ये 2 काम आप रखिए, बाकी काम ये मेरे आपने स्टूडियो में भिजवा दीजिएगा, अगर ज़्यादा दिन होता है या ज़्यादा आर्टिस्ट काम करते हैं तो. ये कैंप ये किस लिए किए जाते हैं, इसका जो मेन उद्देश्य है, जो उन्होंने बोला, बहुत अच्छा बोला, आई वाज वेरी मच इम्प्रेस्ड. ये जो कैंप होता है, आपस में जो हमारा इंटरैक्शन, जो कैंप के जो एक, ये पूरे वर्ल्ड के अंदर में मेरे ख्याल है इंडिया इज़ द वन ऑफ द फर्स्ट कंट्री हु इंट्रोड्यूस दी वर्कशॉप्स, जो कैंप्स, आर्ट कैंप्स. बाकी कहीं नहीं होता, नहीं है ये, आमतौर पर नहीं होता ना. ओके चाइना में होता है, चलो दिस, बाकी ये और कहीं नहीं होता ये कैंप ना. ये इंडिया में क्यों हुआ, और ये पहला ही जो कैंप, जो सबसे पहला जो कैंप हुआ, वो एक इंटरनेशनल कैंप से ही स्टार्ट हुआ. तो उस टाइम की ये बात है, कम से कम 30, 35, 40 साल हो गया ये, क्योंकि हमारे जितने भी आर्टिस्ट थे, हमारे इंडियन आर्टिस्ट थे, कोई भी अगर फॉरेनर आता है तो लगता है कि ये इट विल बी इज़ अ गुड बायर. ये एक पहले ये प्रथा थी ऐसे, ये काम हमारा खरीदेगा. आई जस्ट पार्टिसिपेट इन वन, this is the first, in 95, first Korea Biennale. They were only the 2 artists. It was selected by their own persons. Kwang Shu Oh, he was the pure Asia ka pura wo tha, that he was the commissioner who selected in 2 artists. I was one of them. And number 2, he was a sculptor from Ravinder Jamwal from Jammu. He was that, only the 2. हमने सोचा कि ये फॉरनर कुछ आया तो ये काम भी कुछ खरीदेगा, कुछ समथिंग ओके पसंद भी आया कि नहीं आप मेरे को ना शाम को 4 बजे आप हयात होटल में इतने रूम नंबर में आप मिले मेरे को, विल डिसाइड ओवर देयर. तो मैं कहा ठीक है वो कुछ फाइनल होगा. को नो नो मिस्टर गुप्ता, वी आर जस्ट इन्वाइटिंग यू फॉर द शो, सो वी जस्ट कन्फर्म इट. तो उसके लिए केवल आपको बुलाया कि यू हैव टू डू द वर्क ओनली, बाकी आपका जो नेल टू नेल सर्विस है वो हम करेंगे. मतलब that was only the one of that, on that time we were just thinking it. हमारे जो इंडियंस भाई थे सारे, जहाँ तो पेंटिंग कोई सेल नहीं होती थी उस टाइम पर, अगर साल में 1-2 काम सेल होते भी थे तो ललित कला एकेडमी था या एनजीए में था या कोई बाहर का जो आउटसाइडर्स हैं वो कुछ कोई खरीदेगा. एंड व्हाट वाज द कॉस्ट? मेरा ड्राइंग, आई स्टार्टेड माय कैरियर, मैं आपको वैसे थोड़ा सा बता दूं, मैं ड्राइंग से किया 17 साल तक मैंने ड्राइंग की कॉलेज ऑफ आर्ट के बाद में, बिकॉज देयर वाज नो प्लेस. एक ही रूम में मैं रहता था, उसमें 5 लोग थे, मैं था, मेरी वाइफ थी, मेरी मदर भी थी, मेरा ब्रदर भी था, है ना, बच्चे भी थे. तो मतलब दैट वाज द कंडीशन ऑफ दैट टाइम. समय की बात कर रहा हूँ मैं आपको. अभी समय काफ़ी बदल गया है, तो अभी भी हम मेरे कुछ अपने अच्छे जो दोस्त हैं, अब मेरे को ये नहीं पता कि वो ठीक है या गलत है, कि अभी भी वो अपना ये कुछ क्या है अपना ये मोबाइल ले करके वो कुछ इमेजेस उसमें बना करके लाते हैं, दे पेंट एंड दे उसका कॉपी करते हैं. आई डोंट नो दिस वन, मैं कुछ नहीं कह सकता वो कॉपी उसका अपना ही है या बाहर से लिया है या बाहर से इकट्ठा किया है, बिकॉज द होल ऑफ द वर्ल्ड ऑन योर टेबल नाउ इट इज. बच्चों को भी ये हम लोग सिखाते हैं कि तुम्हारे पूरे वर्ल्ड के अंदर में पूरा वर्ल्ड आपके टेबल पर है. यू कैन सी द होल एनी म्यूजियम, कोई म्यूजियम आप कहीं भी देख सकते हैं, बट कोई बच्चा नहीं देखने को तैयार है. अगर आप उनको ड्राइंग्स के लिए कुछ बोले, मैं यूनिवर्सिटीज में भी जाता हूँ, बोलता हूँ आप अच्छा अपना ड्राइंग आप लेके आइए, कर सर वो तो घर रहेगी स्केच बुक. तो आपने भी यहाँ 2 स्केच बुक हमने दिए हैं, ऑल्दो जैसे आई कंप्लीटेड 1 स्केच बुक, पूरा कंप्लीट मैंने कर दिया, सो स्मॉल 1 स्केच बुक पूरा किया वो. तो वो आजकल बच्चे को ड्राइंग कोई करने को तैयार नहीं है. मैं कह रहा हूँ हमारे यहाँ जितने आर्टिस्ट आए भी हैं यहाँ, क्या वो कितनी ड्राइंगें कितनी करते हैं या नहीं करते. चलो ये तो एक बहुत मैच्योर्ड हो गए सारे, तो एवरी वन हैव गॉट द ऑल सिग्नेचर्स वर्क, कि सिग्नेचर से आर्टिस्ट तो नहीं पहचाना जाता है ना. मगर फिर भी अभी भी ये कुछ ज़रूरत है कि अगर क्या कुछ आर्टिस्ट कोई चीज़ नई चीज़ें अगर कुछ कर रहा है तो दैट इट शुड बी वेरी ओपन. फिर उसका माहौल अगर आपका बनेगा ही नहीं काम करने का, तो आप काम करेंगे कैसे? अगर घर में ही काम करना है तो आप वहाँ से काम करके यहाँ सबमिट कर दीजिए, दैट इज़ बेटर, इज़ मच बेटर. तो सबके सामने काम कर रहे हैं, तो ये भी काम कर रहा है, जबकि वो प्रिंट मेकर है, बट ही इज़ डूइंग इज़ वेरी गुड वर्क. बहुत अच्छा काम किया, मतलब इस बार जो काम हुआ है, बट आई थिंक दैट इज़ मार्वेलस वर्क. मतलब सम ऑफ द वर्क हो सकता है, जैसे मैं नया हूँ, मेरे को फर्स्ट चांस दिया गया था विजय कौशिक जी ने, फर्स्ट वन. तो मेरा शो था एक्चुअली 1 महीने पहले, बाद में हाँ मैं नहीं आया. हाँ अच्छा ओके. तो हाँ तो विजय नहीं, हाँ नहीं वो तो ये नहीं था मेरे को यस यस हाँ हाँ. तो मैं कह रहा हूँ ये अच्छा, मेरे को बस में थोड़ा वोमिटिंग भी होती है. मैंने इनको भी कुछ कहा, मैं कह यार कुछ ऐसा भी है, चाहे झूठ बोला या सच बोला, अब ये नहीं पता मेरे को क्या था. तो मैं कह यार किसी ढंग से पोस्टपोन करो, कौन पहाड़ी एरिया में जाएगा और कौन कुछ क्या होगा. बट ईश्वर की दया से कुछ नहीं हुआ, उसने मेडिसिन मेरे को दे दिया था वो देवभूमि. आई नो, थैंक यू, सो नाइस ऑफ यू. एंड this was only then one of the questions you just produced कि what is it be useful. It always be useful, और ये हमेशा यूज़फुल ही रहेगा. कुछ ऐसी मीटिंग्स हैं, कहीं ये मीटिंग कभी भी नहीं होती, ना दिल्ली में होती है, ना कलाधाम के अंदर होती है, ना ललित कला में होती है. हाँ अगर होती है पार्टी पॉलिटिक्स की होगी, बाकी और कुछ नहीं होगा. डिस्कस होगा तुम्हारा कितना काम सेल हुआ है, तुम्हारा एग्जीबिशन हुई तो कितने काम सेल हुए, सेल की बात करेंगे. बस माई क्वेश्चन इज दिस कि सेलिंग इज नॉट एन, अगर एक आर्टिस्ट का काम सारा सेल होता है, इट डजंट मीन ही इज एन वेरी गुड आर्टिस्ट. वो गैलरी के लिए अच्छा हो सकता है, उसके लिए वो हुसैन हो सकता है, बट इज नॉट फॉर देन अदर्स वन. एक गैलरी एक आर्टिस्ट को अगर प्रमोट करती है, उसका काम सेल का, इट डजंट मीन ही इज एन वेरी गुड आर्टिस्ट. ही जस्ट इज सेलिंग ए लॉट. नो, नेवर बी. एक काम मेरे को पसंद है, दूसरे को काम पसंद नहीं है, वो तीसरे को काम पसंद है, चौथे को काम पसंद नहीं है. मतलब आर्ट में इज ऑलवेज लाइक दिस. और इज नॉट नेसेसरी एक को अगर अवार्ड मिला है तो वो सबको ही पसंद हो जाएगा. वो I remember is the one of them is the question I just is this one quote. Ram Nivas Mirda, he was the chairman of the LK. उनका एक कहना था, एक बार किसी टर्नाले के अंदर में एक आर्टिस्ट को अवार्ड मिलना था, वो अवार्ड नहीं मिला, किसी छोटे को अवार्ड दे दिया गया. उसने अपने स्कल्पचर जला दिए, गेट पर जलाया, और उसकी जो उसको पोजीशन जो मिलनी थी वो टर्नाले से ज़्यादा मिल गई. इवन BBC ने भी अनाउंस किया द स्कल्पचर. ही रिटर्न टू द प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया, प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफ इंडिया, और अमेरिका के प्रेसिडेंट को भी लिखा उसने. मतलब ही जस्ट राइटिंग इट. मगर उसने एक सेंटेंस मेरे को कहा, अभी भी मेरे को याद है वो सेंटेंस. उन्होंने कहा, आज तक कभी भी बेस्ट अवार्ड पूरे वर्ल्ड के अंदर में किसी अच्छे आदमी को नहीं गया. मिर्धा जी ने कहा था. I remember this word. ये I just can't say about it. या तो उसको समझाने के लिए उन्होंने बोला, या समझाने के लिए, या आर्ट को उसको जो एक क्वेश्चन जो आवाज दबी थी उसको दबाने के लिए बोला गया, वो क्वेश्चन जो था कि whether he be right or not. I can't say about it till today.
I think what Kali bhai said is a very interesting thing. Finally, it is very difficult to judge the intensity and the status of art then and there only every time.
Yeah.
Art is always judged later on also.
Yeah.
This is what.
Yeah, this is it.
Example is Lust for Life. That fellow never sold a painting.
But this was just the question that I just tell you.
हेलो.
मोदी ने ये पूछा था इसलिए मैं ये कह रहा हूँ.
ऐसा है. सबसे पहले मैं हिंदी में बोलूँगा. मैं शुक्रगुजार हूँ. रसाजा फाउंडेशन में मेरा ये तीसरा आगमन है, और रसाजा फाउंडेशन जो कैंप ऑर्गेनाइज करती, जो भी करती, जैसा भी करती, जितने भी उनके बजट है, बड़े छोटे, ये जो भी चीज़ वो हमें हमारे सामने रखते हैं वो ट्रांसपेरेंट है. मैं अपनी लाइफ में बहुत ज़्यादा वर्कशॉप गया नहीं. मैं कैंप आर्टिस्ट नहीं हूँ, और दूसरी बात मैं ब्लैक एंड वाइट आर्टिस्ट हूँ. मेरा ज़्यादा काम ब्लैक एंड वाइट में होता है. कलर मैं अभी शुरू किया हूँ, पहले भी किया हूँ, पर मुझे अपने आप को एक्सप्रेस करने में ब्लैक एंड वाइट में ज़्यादा आसान लगता है. तो ये रसाजा फाउंडेशन का जो कैंप है, जो वर्कशॉप है, इसके साथ किसी भी वर्कशॉप का हम कंपेयर नहीं कर सकते. इस मेरा सबसे पहला अनुभव है, और मैं इसे सबके सामने शेयर करना चाहूँगा. और होटल में भी मैं गया, अवध, क्लैरिज में, वहाँ भी वर्कशॉप की, बड़े बड़े आर्टिस्टों के साथ किए. बांग्लादेश के आर्टिस्ट, हमारे भी इंडिया के बहुत बड़े बड़े आर्टिस्ट थे वहाँ पर. आर.बी. भास्करन, फिर वो कर्ज फाट के वो कौन थे, धीराज चौधरी, ये सब, जतिन दास, ये लोग सब थे. हमने कैंप आर्टिस्टों का वो सब चेहरा देखा है. मतलब हम कितने बड़े धुरंधर है, एक से बढ़कर एक है. हम तब छोटे से थे, और हमें वो सब मज़ा आता था कि उनके एटीट्यूड, उनका बोलने का स्टाइल, हम कितने प्रोफेशनल है. देखो, हम जो ऑर्गेनाइज़र है उनको हम जस्ट ऐसे ही ये कर रहे हैं कि रिक्वेस्ट पे थोड़ा हम आए हैं, अदरवाइज हम नहीं आते हैं, हमारा ये स्टेटस है. ये सारी चीज़ हमने देखा और फील किया. उससे ये जगह का जो है ये एकदम ही अलग है और बहुत होमली है। हमारे सीनियर भाई, बड़े भाई और भाभी जैसे एक माहौल, हम इनसे हालांकि हम परिचित पहले से ही हैं, और इतना आनंद आता है बात करने में, और इनके साथ कई तरह के मजाक भी हम कर लिए हैं, करते भी हैं, पर वो भी सब एक दायरे में रह के, ऐसा नहीं उनको इंसल्ट करे, उनके मजाक उड़ाए, पर हम इंजॉय करते हैं सारी चीज़। और इस जगह का इनके साथ जुड़ना हमारा सौभाग्य मैं समझता हूँ। और जबकि पेंटिंग में मैं अपने आप को भी सुधार रहा हूँ, मैं भी कोशिश कर रहा हूँ कि पेंटिंग में हमारी चीज़ को कैसे और अच्छी तरीके से रिप्रेजेंट करें। और बस इतना ही मैं कहूँगा कि इसके जैसा कैंप और ये जो इन्वायरमेंट है, ये एडेड एक चीज़ है। कैंप तो आप कहीं भी जाके कर सकते हैं, पर ये जो इन्वायरमेंट में, इस इन्वायरमेंट में, इस जगह पे आप रह के काम कर रहे हैं, 4 दिन हो या 10 दिन हो, जितना दिन रहेंगे उतना आपका फ़ायदा है। हाँ, 10 दिन रहेंगे तो आपको और भी कुछ नया चीज़ मिलेगा, और भी ढूंढने के लिए मिलेगा। मैं पिछली बार आया था तो मैं ये लेक के साइड से चल के दूर दूर तक गए थे, और एक ड्रिफ्टेड वुड के साथ में लेक के अंदर चले गए थे। हाँ, वो सब बहुत ही मज़ेदार चीज़ है। डर भी लग रहा था, कई सारे हमने कहानियाँ भी सुने हैं, इस लेक में लोग डूब जाते हैं, ये सब तो सब मिलजुल कर, और एक बहुत ही अच्छा अनुभूति है। और ये लेक का जो खासियत है भी, आप सुबह से शाम तक बैठेंगे, पानी का जो रंग है और उसमें रिफ्लेक्शन जिस तरीके से चेंज होता है सुबह से शाम तक, हर समय घंटे 2 घंटे में जो रंग में परिवर्तन आता है, बदलाव आती है, ये एक अलग अनुभूति है। और ये एक आर्टिस्ट ही इसको देख सकता है, समझ सकता है, अनुभव कर सकता है। और इसका मेरे ऊपर तो बहुत असर हुआ है। मैं 1 साल में मैंने जो लिथो वगैरह किए हैं, उसमें इस जगह का कुछ छाप मेरे काम में आया है। धन्यवाद।
If somebody else wants to speak.
Actually, we have one more session also, but there are a few more points that I wanted to cover. But something that very interesting Ananda had said, I would like to revisit. He said, before why is the art camp, there should be what is the art camp. Now, I knew earlier that if you know why of a thing, you will be able to know what is of a thing. If you knew why, you will be able to solve it. So I thought why would be giving me the answer. But he must be having something to say about what is an art camp. Okay, if somebody would like to explain further why an art camp or what an art camp, we can elaborate. And there are more. So very briefly we will do it because I have 2-3 more points. And then we will have one more session which can be on the 17th. Because by the time you have finished, because then you can talk about the works that you have done. So that's right. So, but you know, one thing that I felt is this was also pointed out by Kiran. In last, we were finishing, when I said that we are doing this art camp, she said one thing which I thought was very pertinent. But when you do an art camp, are people around that area, are they benefited? Do you involve them? Now, no, but why? This time it has not happened. Why? Because perhaps we have shortened the whole thing to 4 days. Now, I remember even one of the art camps, children visited this place, which was very good. I don't know, but
आए थे यहाँ folk artists के साथ paint कर रहे थे.
But this morning, a person who came to serve us tea, he said, my daughter came and she painted and she enjoyed that. This time she could not come because she's going through an exam. And he was very sorry, that...
तो रोज आती थी बैठी रही
Anyway, but so I told Kiran that yes, we have tried to involve. We have actually told the staff of this camp that please ask your children to come over and participate. Now, let me tell you one thing, whether you noted or not. I was waiting for him to say it himself, but I'm talking about Mr. Verma. Mr. Verma perhaps speaks little, but when he speaks, you see, when he came and he said, "Arey, do painting to sabke complete hai." There was tongue in cheek in that. So he thought he will see a blank canvas take shape, and you see, I now recall these art camps are done by Rasaja Foundation is doing art camp not for any benefit, because now I suddenly remember long time back Jatin Das had conducted an art camp in a hotel in Bhubaneswar, and they were doing 2 paintings of 3 by 4, that is 12 square feet, and they were given 8 or 9 days in which they had been taken around, traveled, and they finished those paintings, 2 paintings. Now that is twice the size of what you're doing. Now anyway, this 2 by 2.5 was started by Vijay. I was not even aware. And last time it got down to 2 by 2. Last time I think...
this time.
Last time also it was 2 by 2. Achha, anyway, so if required in a hotel, so I checked that hotel. That hotel was a urban hotel, not such an environment. What I think, people when come to this place, they don't want to go anywhere. Because where would you go? In Bhimtal, it is again becoming like any other city. Very busy, roads, shops. So either you would like to go to a temple, like, you would like to go to this Kanchidham. But Kanchidham problem is, there is so many people coming here. Kanchidham, you have to park the car in Bhimtal and then take a shuttle. You cannot take your car. Because in spite of the fact that there's 700 car parking, they are not allowing. Would you believe during some days, which is Kanchi Baba's maybe birthday, the whole road from here to Almora is banned for traffic because all people are coming to Kanchidham. So the problem is, but what I find, people would come here, they say, we would relax because we have been stressed up all, in the area. This is a place we don't want to go. We like to see the morning sun, sunrise, sunset, and it is all different. And someday it is cloudy, someday there is Kora, and they are all different versions of the mountain. Anyway, but we have no problem. Mr. Verma, if I ask him that I need 11 days for this camp, he would not say no. He will give the same hospitality, same kind of, food, and he will try to take care whatever you want to do. But he would like to see, I find he's not too much, like in a hotel they do it so that they get paintings. In his case, I don't think, in fact, Suchitra insisted that,
after him.
that all the paintings that you have taken from Rasaja, it should be exhibited here. We would like to see them, which is a good idea.
पता ही नहीं है कब लेके उन्होंने कहाँ बक्से में डाल दिया,
No,
नहीं पता।
anyway, but whatever. So, so, but what I'm trying to say, he likes to meet artists, he likes to encourage artists, which is very nice.
And he likes also cultural forms.
Yes, and last time the musical function we had, we got another, like we got a response from Graphic Era University that you please, whatever functions you are having, please have it in our auditorium, which is an air-conditioned auditorium with all equipments and everything. Anyway, so the point I'm trying to make is that what Kiran said, that if you do an art camp in a place, the place around also should be benefited, and which we are taking care. We are not neglecting that. But I think if Ananda wants to distinguish between why an art camp and what an art camp, I think he should get that opportunity to explain.
Okay, listening to Dada, I have an idea. Next time when you do camp, यू आर राइट दैट इस पहाड़ में और एक्स्ट्रा क्या देख सकते हो, अगर देखोगे तो ज़्यादा भीड़ ही देखोगे. यू आर राइट. बट यू नो, as an artist, we always keep dreaming and thinking. And I have a very particular habit. When someone else is talking, I think on that. So that when I participate, I can really participate according to his or her way of thinking. So when you were talking, I just had an idea. एक बार try करके देखिएगा. Next time, जो भी number of days आप रखो, एक दिन रखना, on the spot जाके सारे artists sketch करेंगे. And people will be very, interested. Suppose कीजिए भीमताल उतर के हम लोग अलग अलग जगह sketch कर रहे हैं, and there will be a different kind of atmosphere. People see that, and then if there can be one wall there in those areas to exhibit all the sketches, can be a lovely experience altogether. How, when we talk, when we interact, जो काली भाई ने कहा, we come out with various ideas. Now I answer your question. अच्छा पहले
मुझे अभी भी ऐसा लगता है, मुझे अभी भी ऐसा लगता है कि ये जो एक दिन स्केच करने का है, हम इस तरफ हमेशा आए, 3 बार आए, इसी तरफ रहे. जस्ट इस लेक के उस तरफ जाकर हम अगर लेक को देखें और यहाँ का एनवायरनमेंट को देखें तो कैसा लगेगा. हाँ, ये हमारा एक बहुत मन में है इस बात को. अगर आप ऐसा कर सकते हैं तो
I think if you remember, Dada, I think my friends will remember last time, every morning I used to do one sketch नीचे उतर के वो, even संतोष remember, हम लोग सब काम करते थे, पर मैं रोज एक sketch करता था, इस बार भी करूँगा. So that can be one thing very added. But coming back to your point, camp, why did I ask? My intention was something else. Because जितेंद्र को लेके बात हो रहा था, कितनी गोली मारे, शोले में पूछा जाता है और कितने लोग थे. So मुझे लगा exactly camp, if I do not generally go bookish. If I want to define what is a camp, it is coming out of your shell and spending time on a stipulated ways, manners, days with the rest of the people. If that is so, there can be various definition of camps, जो काली भाई ने बोला. Exactly, बहुत experience हम लोगों का है international का, but this is a special one. We all know that the new one जो लोग आए हैं, within a day, I have been only telling them the place itself will be inviting you, and they all have accepted. So there is nothing. I mean, this is great. But then, since we are talking like we talk about a sketching camp, we can think of a watercolor day one day. We can think of such things like that, or we can just, there are 10 artists, organize a day, all these artists go to 10 different schools and spend a day with their children as an artist. That can also be a part of camp. When I was contemplating on what extending the parameters of the present context, as I say that we need to move further from the body and mind. So the extending the parameters from the present context, there can be many things like that. So what I request all my friends today now, supporting Rasaja with the salute, that we can write a paragraph of our experience and the further possibilities and leave that paper to you when we go. Let us do one thing. Let us do portrait of both. And Dada.
Anyway, listen. Okay.
एक घंटा
advertising courses, we are advertising.
दादा जितेंद्र दादा एक सेकंड बोधी 1 second. 17th we have another session. आज हमने अगर देखोगे आज हमने 1 घंटा वैसे वेस्ट किया 5 से 6:15. तो नहीं वही तो बोल रहा हूँ. 17th को 5 से 6 we will sketch.
No, 17th we have, no.
अच्छा, सुनो. अच्छा, No. There are 2-3 more points. I think, would you like to have it on this other, we have one more day of workshop. Would you like to do it on the second day?
That's a morning workshop.
Doesn't matter. It will be on the 17th. No.
I'll tell you. That's a very...
No, morning ka evening hote pare. Ami bolchi. On the, we have got tomorrow and day after tomorrow music in the evening. No, but music in the evening does not mean that before that, if you want to spend 1 hour for our discussion, if you like to do, we can do it. Because he would be there, they would be there. Because you will see how you are placed. So I suggest that these discussions are very useful. Very useful. And, I will be requesting, our Dr. Rajarshi, because he is the only one who has done PhD amongst us. So I did not ask him what is the subject. I was going to ask him the PhD subject he has done. Whether he has done it or not, he will be asked to transcribe all this recording, and so that we can have a document, Rasaja Foundation's art camp. So I hope, Rajesh, you are accepting this. This will be your another PhD.
I'm happy to do it.
Acha, wonderful.
But
Wonderful.
also talk.
No,
उनको तो बोलने नहीं दिया आपने.
If I take out the timing, he spoke maximum. Ki bolche bole dini. We have anyway. And Sonu, I thought that we have little time, and somebody said glass is waiting. I don't know. अच्छा नहीं point जो मेरा कहना था, I got a suddenly I felt this morning, मैंने एक साथ लिखा भी है, मैं देखता हूँ, उसके अंदर मुझे लिखा था कि नहीं मैंने जो लिखा था वो can art liberate today's mobile infected patients? We are all mobile infected. हाँ, वो मैंने सोचा था मोबाइल इन्फेक्शन जो है हमको, अगर ये हम तरीका दें तो ये आपका जो नुस्खा है ये बहुत लोग अडॉप्ट करेगा कि भाई ये मोबाइल का है, उसको एक काम करो, थोड़ी देर रख के आप रंग लगा लो तो आप उससे वो इन्फेक्शन से दूर हो सकते हो. तो एनीवे इफ यू थिंक इस पे कुछ सोचना चाहते हैं तो बात करेंगे. हाँ, अच्छा एक और पॉइंट ये था कि जो मैं ये सोच रहा था कि हम जो कॉमन आर्ट लवर है, जो इंसिडेंट स्कूल की बात कर दूं, हम स्कूल में इसलिए नहीं जा पा रहे हैं, हमने जो टाइम सिलेक्ट किया या हमको जो टाइम मिल रहा है, अच्छा मार्च का टाइम इसलिए वर्मा साहब दे पाते हैं कि इस वक्त उनका वेडिंग का मिनिमम रिक्वायरमेंट होता है, नहीं तो ये कंटिन्यूसली इतना दिन कभी नहीं दे पाएंगे. अभी भी बहुत दिक्कत हो रही है उनको, अभी भी आप देखेंगे वहाँ पर उन लोगों को शिफ्ट कर रहे हैं क्योंकि वो आर्ट कैंप को डिस्टर्ब नहीं करना चाहते हैं. हाँ, सो वो 18 का तो एक लिहाज से जो हमने शॉर्ट कर दिया उनको बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है, लेकिन कार्तिक को अच्छा लग सकता है, बट नॉट महेंद्र जी. महेंद्र जी वुड पुश his guests little away even at the cost of the art camp. Anyway, so एक तो स्कूल में इस वक्त सबका एग्जाम चल रहा है, सबका, तो इस और हम मार्च में ही कर पाएंगे, तो मार्च में हमको अनफॉर्चुनेटली स्कूल में हम नहीं कर पाएंगे, बट दी अदर आइडियाज, हाँ अदर आइडियाज वी कैन ऑलवेज एक्सप्लोर. तो जो हमने एक तो मैं सोच रहा था कि क्या हम इनवाइट करें कुछ लोग जो पेंट करना चाहते हैं लेकिन हेजिटेट करते हैं, जैसे कुछ गाना चाहते हैं लेकिन नहीं गाते हैं, तो उनको गाने के लिए बोलो यार गाओ, कोई बात नहीं, आप बेसुरा हो जाए कोई फिक्र नहीं करो, गाओ तो सही. नहीं नहीं आप देखो ये चीज़ नहीं है, दिस इज नॉट राइट. द पॉइंट इज कि देयर इज अ मिशन. इफ वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट Rasaja Foundation is not collecting work of art, though Jaya Apasami had laid out very clearly that there should be development and exchanges between various, similar societies who are promoting art. She had promoted, she picked up the work of art which nobody was looking at that time. Whether it company school was the most neglected thing that time. So she collected this company school, and suddenly you find some very interesting thing emerging out of company school. She collected also glass paintings of Tanjore and many things she did, which was almost like, she was thinking, in some ways I would say way ahead of her time, in whatever she was doing. And she has laid down the same thing for Rasaja Foundation. One more thing I would request you, that I would like you to become members of Rasaja Foundation and see how you can help Rasaja Foundation, because we have been working now. It is for us, it is time to retire. I think some of you should, because Rasaja Foundation essentially is for promoting art and culture. So those of you all, you are interested, please become member so that you can see how you can further be continued. Flourish. Acha. So the point that I said was, एक तो वो point हो गया. दूसरा, can we involve the general public to come and participate? Is it possible?
Can I give a suggestion?
हाँ, कर लेंगे, हम कर लेंगे. We'll record it. हाँ.
See, after my father passed in 2007, my younger brother decided that we don't go to the village very often, so why don't we start something? So we started with to give the students of like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 some kind of encouragement, scholarship, something like that. It was a very basic thing. So we started with that. So my brother, it's all done by the siblings. We are 7 of us. We all pull in the money, and that's how we do. Now I take part, I do the cultural part of it. That's a dance, music, whatever. I can't dance, I can't sing, but cultural in the sense, at least I can. So being an artist, what I did, I used to, the house, I used to put a poster, like, this is your place. So you can put the posters where the children can see. And in that, what I used to do, I used to take papers, my own, it's all my papers and some watercolor and oil pastels. Now, when you put a poster, children sometimes walk, even children came from like 1.5 hour walking for these classes, because it started with that kind. So I provided the material, I provided them the pastel and that, and the posters were put. So all the children, the parents sent the children to that thing because they read the poster and they knew. Sometimes the teachers told the children, oh, why don't you go? So I have given a very important, that 2 hours of community service. Like my friends used to come, they used to say, okay, we want to see your village. I said, you come and see my village, but you have to give this 2 hours community service that we call, where the women, if they want to know something about, and then we had English classes. I'm just telling you, like, we used to take a teacher who was very good in teaching children. So we started having English classes for them, just spoken English, very simple one, and the cultural. And you will not believe that in this 16 years now, the confidence of the children, the drawing, then even telling the parents that all children cannot come first, all cannot go for academics, some way can go for different. So that kind of also, we have to give a speech to these parents. The parents come with the children. So at that particular time, we told them, okay, if your son might be good in polishing his shoes, so that can become a profession. So we give them that kind of idea so that parents don't just focus on the academic part. So if a child, the girl, daughter, or the son loves cooking, so don't stop them. Let them do it. If you don't have material, the colors in the house, there's some mud, there is haldi, there is sindoor in the house. So use that. So these small things, how in these 16 years, how it built up so beautifully that they always look forward for me to come. And I always take 2, 3 friends. So I'll send you some video of it. And it has really helped. And when we come from the village, the day when we come back to our house, like, we leave the village, all the villages stand in a line. कि आप लोग कितना देने आते हो हमारे बच्चों को. And my grandfather had also done that. Now, after a while, we also got the opportunity. So what, you have to put posters. And you have to decide a particular day, particular time. And especially Saturday, Sunday is really good. So that way you will have the whole community, because that is how I started collecting and today parents send their children because they know that if they have walked 1.5 hours, they'll get something to eat. They will not have to go back hungry. So these are very small things, but this is what works finally.
In fact, Rasaja is also giving scholarships. We are giving scholarships. I guess today we conclude, and we can continue on similar lines for whichever day you would like to speak on.
No, even tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
What time is the program in the evening?
We can start. We're normally thinking of 6:30. We can make it 7 also if you like.
No. Let that be 6.
Okay.
We will begin from 5.
Okay. Fine. Great. Thank you very much. Thank you.